Welcome to You and Your Money. I'm Jim Zahansky, Principal Managing Partner and Chief Goal Strategist at WHC Strategic Wealth Advisors. Let's dive into today's topic.
Today we're discussing a very timely topic, the economic policies proposed by the presidential candidates for the upcoming election. All right, so the presidential candidates have started to outline their economic plans. Give us an overview of what they're proposing.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, no matter what side of politics you sit on, the thing that the president does, in whether it's Democrat or Republican or independent, is they help to set policy, obviously, that's ultimately approved by Congress. And so, you know, from our perspective, and what does that mean for the economy and markets, what we tend to watch is what's the campaign trail concepts that they're looking at for the economy. And in this case, both of them are looking at areas like tax changes and tax cuts and tax credits, and all of those have an implication to us. We'll see what actually gets implemented, but clearly, as we watch it, it's really important at this point because I think that the U.S. deficit is approaching around $2 trillion, so we have to consider that when it comes to taxes and U.S. tax policy.
So what key areas are they focusing on?
Yeah, I mean, so I'll give you some ideas. Like, so it's mainly between, and these are fluid, right? So when we first wrote this script, it's even changed since then. So some of the ideas are fairly fluid. But you know, without boring your listeners, things like where do they differ? Well, you know, on taxes, the biggest thing, Trump had reduced the taxes in his first term through the Tax Cut and Jobs Act of 2017. He would like to extend those to be permanent tax changes. And, you know, most of them will tend to sunset in 2025 unless they're continued by Congress. Trump is supporting that those tax rates that were reduced in 2017 under his first presidency are extended to be permanent. And Harris, I think, is supporting the extension of those tax cuts only for those that earn below $400,000. So that's a somewhat of a major difference. For those that invest money, for unrealized gains in your account, Harris would like to, tax the unrealized gains, and Trump does not support that. So that'd be a big change. That's a big difference for those that are investing money, and obviously we'd have to think that through with our clients. For long-term capital gains, Harris wants to jump the rate to 28%. That's currently from 20% for those that earn $1 million or more. So for most of the listeners, that's not really relevant, but that is a difference. And then I think on the corporate tax rate, so those that are paying, you know, as a corporation, Trump would like to cut the rate to 15% from 21%, and Harris wanted to increase the rate up to 28%. So those are the differences on the tax rate stuff. And, you know, we'll see where, remember, it's not as if the president from day one can make these changes. Congress would have to approve them anyway, and we would expect a divided government in Congress.
Consumer prices, it's top of mind for the electorate. Tell me about that.
Yeah, good question, because the concept of prices should be coming down as inflation is coming down, right? Inflation has started to come down to what the Fed is targeting, around 2%, and the most recent read has been around 2.5%. So what that means is when we go shopping in the grocery store, you should start to see prices coming back. And I think both candidates here, Harris and Trump, are both supporting that. They would do it in different ways. Trump wants to order the agencies that report into him to watch for price gouging and to make sure that there's no price gouging going on. And Harris would support that same approach, but by doing it through consumer protection agencies and not necessarily the federal agencies.
Tariffs.
This is a big topic as well. The Trump administration would obviously continue on the tariff front to maybe even increase tariffs coming in all the way to 60% on Chinese goods. And I think Harris, though, would keep the current tariffs in place that were put there by Trump. And so, you know, both are this is a concept of, you know, Harris saying, well, the tariffs that Trump would impose would raise prices, and Trump defending, no, it's actually it's going to create production here in the United States. So that is a different topic, and it's one that does have economic implications that we'd have to watch.
All right. Any other policies or anything else that you're thinking about here?
Well, what I'd say here is that and we've watched this through multiple presidencies, that you're currently on the election trail, right? So the campaign, as I was saying, these topics become fairly fluid, and both candidates are watching where voters swing and adapting potential policies. What ends up happening after election is really a function of how well the president works with Congress, and then how Congress considers what is, worthy of putting into law. And in most cases, you have a divided government, and that's the beauty of the U.S. politics, and the divided government is mixed between both parties. And in these cases, you don't always get the full policy that's happened to be revealed during the campaign trail. And I'm going to leave you with a sort of, as it relates to the policy, one of the things that we tend to watch, and this is data that had come from the Capital Group, which is an investment firm, and they've been watching. This is elections all the way back into the 60s, and regardless of red or blue, politics, which side of the party you're on, is that in 20 of 20 10-year periods. So when you look all the way back to the 60s, the 10-year periods following the election, markets have always increased in double-digit fashion, regardless of who's in the White House.
Great insights, great information. Jim, thanks for breaking down these issues for us. Always enjoy your visit.
For more information regarding wealth management and customized financial planning with WHZ Strategic Wealth Advisors, please visit WHZwealth.com. WHZ Strategic Wealth Advisors offer securities and advisory services through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Fixed insurance products and services offered through CES Insurance Agency. They practice at 697 Pomfret Street, Pomfret Center, Connecticut 06259, and 392A Marrow Road, Tolland, Connecticut 06084. They can be reached at 860-928-2341. WHZ Strategic Wealth Advisors do not provide legal or tax advice. The tenured financial services team strives to support clients in achieving their financial life goals while providing absolute confidence and unwavering partnership for life.